many of these projects are being pushed, but to make the banks as the instrumentalities to make mandatory insurance, I think will become problematic. So I think that's the response that I want to give.
I'll request Thiru Saab to answer the two questions directed at NDMA. It will be improper for us to respond on behalf of NDMA. Question was, we need guidelines for village disaster management committees, one, and second, can we document success stories at the Gram Panchayat level?
Yeah, this first, let me talk about documenting success stories. It's a very good suggestion. I have already taken note of it. We would do it. Other thing is about village disaster management committees. They can, already there are village disaster management committees in many states. I think the suggestion is creating a village disaster management authority. So we will consider it, we will scrutinize the suggestion.
Or even guidelines alongside. Yeah, sure, thank you. So this, if I look at the list, one question that still remains unaddressed, risk transfer. How does one address risk transfer in India? Maybe either you or Professor Patnaik can address that.
One of the ways one does risk transfer, of course, is through insurance. Insurance is the way through which you transfer the risk. But I think we must also look at, there have been cases where I think Professor Patnaik did allude to cases, there are cases where the insurance authority itself, the insurance agency itself gets prone to risk if the amount covered is beyond them. So it's not just transfer of risk in that way. Ultimately, I think the move has to be in the form of building greater resiliency, so that the amount of risk transferred is less and is ultimately manageable.
If you want me to add. Well, I think the question was that we really need to think about about risk transfer. And I think that's a very valid point, that's something that we need to seriously think about. Now, when you look at the case of countries where, very small countries where they have a single shock and a very large share of GDP gets hit, then they often go in for international transfer risk. So they transfer the risk out of the country. So if the sovereign sells catastrophe bonds in the international market, Mexico does that, then they are able to transfer the risk so what happens is that if there is a disaster, then the principal doesn't get paid. Otherwise, normally the principal and interest keeps getting paid. Similarly, if you look at the facility that the World Bank has, a drawdown facility, it's like a credit line. So basically, they would say that first we'll assess what sort of risks you have you taken mitigation measures, and after that, so you pay a small percent, and after that they stand ready to give you credit in case of a disaster so that you have immediate liquidity. Similarly, there are other mechanisms. There is parametric insurance. So if some disaster happens, say earthquake above a certain scale, then you get paid. At the moment, what we are doing as a country is to keep the risk within the country. We are not transferring it out of the country. However, in the federal structure, we are in a way, if de facto, not de jure, we haven't really got that mechanism clearly in place. But if a disaster is hitting a state, and if the NDRF is what is being used, then that's a mechanism which, though not entirely formal and put in place, and how much will be given, but that's the mechanism that is in place, and it needs to be far more formalized. And the second, it needs to be made in such a way that it creates incentives also for risk mitigation. Thanks.
So that leaves only one question unanswered, in addition to, of course, Dr. Pawan's question, which is, can flooding of rivers be balanced with the other rivers? I would say at tea break, I'll request ADG Sab to talk to Kapil Gupta, professor from IIT Bombay, and that would give you a little insight. It's a technical subject. We should not dwell on it in a trivial way. That's why I'm requesting that. Otherwise, I'll hand over to the chairman.
I think we're already overshot on time. I think the panelists did bring out very important issues because the issue is multidimensional, multi-level, and multi-pronged. So all authorities and all forces need to act to deal with the issue. And thanks for the kind of questions, and I'm sure that at the end of this session we are much wiser on dealing with issues. But I think as Professor Alpas had said, there are a lot of lessons that we know, but we need to also learn from them and prevent them, and that's something that hopefully we'll do going forward. Thanks, panelists, for a wonderful session and giving me the opportunity to chat this. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sri Vishwanathan. NIDMC Dr. Ajinder Walia, I request you to please come up onto the stage and felicitate all the dignitaries on the dais. Sri N.S. Vishwanathan. Professor C.V.R. Murthy. Ms. Ila Patnaik. Ms. Alpa Sheth. Shri Vinay Acharya. Thank you. May I request you all to kindly join us for a cup of tea. 15 minutes के बाद हम वापस यहाँ पर इकट्ठा होंगे for the 4th technical session. Thank you so much. We shall resume the next technical session after 15 minutes from now. आप सभी चाय पर सादर आमंत्रित हैं. धन्यवाद.
As India was celebrating the Republic Day in